Welcome back. Round 3, back 9 of the Diameter Open, the 2023 edition in Guelph, Ontario. We've got 2.5 rounds down and 1/2 round to go. I am Galen Naidu-Harris once again.
And Andrew Leyland.
Thanks for joining us for the first 5 videos. Excited for hopefully an action-packed last couple of holes. I'm sure we'll see some highlight reel action as we always do. So thanks for joining us, and thanks to our sponsors one more time.
Yeah, we've got you got some pressure coming up on the card and from the front 9 here, pushing Gigi a little bit, but he's still got a comfy cushion. And
we've got a couple of holes here where we can really see how the direction of the rest of it's going to shake out. I mean, if they make a few strokes back on him, we can have a real battle coming through the last couple of holes. If he starts to pull away, we can start to look at placement, fights for the second and third spots. So I think the beginning is going to really shape some of what we see. I can't help but crack up at Duncan's intro with his dad. But yeah, I always find it interesting when you're sort of heading into the last leg of a tournament like this, how 3 or 4 holes can really shape how the entire rest of the tournament goes when you're in a precarious spot like this with 5 strokes, 6 strokes.
That's right. Yep. If my money's on these guys playing clean and putting more pressure on everybody, so
Absolutely.
Yeah, scoring's going to be up.
This looks kind of tricky here, hole 10. Only 299, but just with the sort of the gradient of the hill, the trees, the rocks, it feels like it should be a straightforward backhand, but I can see it playing a little trickier than that.
Yeah, you've got lots of interesting things going on here, and especially this tee shot where you can just barely see the pin, and looks like Gigi's got a nice spectator.
I was going to say we got a golfer or an organizer here observing.
But yeah, straight down the middle with a mid.
Oh yeah, executes well. I think that would be as close to a standard play here as you would get.
Yeah, that's looking really nice. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot going on. Lots of trees. The gap's kind of small, and then to deal with all the rocks and the skipping of the pine, it's an interesting hole. Like there's really nothing like this.
Yeah, totally. And I don't really see anything too crazy that you can do to change up your shot either. It's just how well you execute.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really see, you're clearly not throwing an ante here. You could throw a flex if you were feeling really cheeky, but that doesn't really make any sense to me. I think 95% of the people teeing off here are going to throw a relatively flat, relatively straight disc, whatever speed they think is appropriate, and it just sort of depends. Where does your throw come out? Is it a little right, a little left, a little low, a little high? Perfect.
Yeah, I think mids. We saw a couple mids, and we saw Jeff throw what looked to be kind of like a fairway.
Yeah, at this distance with these players, I'd expect to see a lot of mids, the odd putter, the odd fairway, but a lot of straight, pathfindery, buzzy mid-ranges.
That's right, yeah.
Cam gives it a pretty good bid from back there. Can't quite connect, though.
Okay.
Yeah, applying a little bit of that pressure we were talking about there, going to 15.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's great birdie.
With a bit of an awkward putt. But that's, I think, what I expect to see for the next couple of holes is, who's going to make Greg match their putts and their plays.
Mm-hmm.
And worth the plastic playback, especially knowing the context of, again, pulling to within 4 with 9 to play, if you count this one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's nice putt there.
Greg straddling out. Look at those long legs. That's crazy. This guy's a giraffe. Yeah. What tree?
His mini's 3 feet to the left.
Yeah. Okay.
Just not able to connect.
Advantage Jeff on this specific hole, and we'll see if Duncan can match. Is this Duncan's drive, or is that his?
This will be par.
That's
wow.
Par
putt.
Yeah, his par putt. Anyway, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, good separator hole. I think this hole rewards a really clean shot that's just down the middle, and you see Jeff getting making a deeper circle one putt and getting himself that too.
Yeah, and not I forget how I was going to phrase that sentence, but a 2-stroke swing as well between Jeff and Duncan is notable too.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, because if you hit early, it's tough to get up and down. I think it's a tough shot.
Oh, 100%. And this one looks pretty straightforward. Oh no, we're going deep into the right, it looks like here.
Yeah, we're going to make a 90-degree turn right here.
Yeah, that's a sharp turn.
And so you can go skip low or come in high, left to right. And so I've seen successful high forehand that kind of stall shots.
That's what I'd be thinking for sure.
Work best, but low punch in there too works. I've seen that as well.
Yeah, I'm thinking especially on a day like today with all this water freshly on the grass, you're probably not going to want to count on too much of a skip. Count on that air shot to be a better way to get in there. But yeah, definitely options, especially on a day that's dry. I feel like that might be a little deep. Oh no, that comes in nicely.
Came in, but
a little early.
You want to push into the tree line, definitely. Yeah. I don't know if there's any like a backhand here. I'd love to know, if someone has tried that and it's been successful, but
yeah, I don't know if there's anybody that might be playing on this specific card that would find a way to make a backhand work in any situation like that. Oh, that's very high.
Cam launching it up there.
Seems like he punches through okay. I think that's a little higher and earlier than he wanted, though. High as well for Duncan, but I like where it's going.
Yeah, it's a little long.
Yeah. And Cam is ready to hike down to the disc already. Okay, so Duncan's maybe mid circle 2 here. Maybe deep circle 2, but gives himself a little something and gives it an honest try.
Yeah, things can you can see if you go too far left, deep. It's really, really quite tight in there. Looks like there might be a line.
It's another one that feels like, at 270 with a pretty simple left to right line, that feels like a must get almost. But then when you play it out, you think and start to realize how many ways there are. If you just get a little offline to make that birdie really difficult to reach.
Oh,
Cam.
Big par putt there.
Yep.
Missing. That's like just a tiny little pitch out cut roller, hey?
Greg is just fighting out. Yeah, and that was a nice cut roller too, and just doesn't quite connect on the putt. Yeah, and Greg gives it an honest run from the woods there as well.
Really nice out there.
The old college try.
Wow. So much better just to play to the mouth of the gap. Yeah. Why try to go in?
And we'll see our competitors tapping in their pars here. And I imagine we'd see a lot of pars on this hole today. You expect to see a good number of birdies too, but again, you never know how something like this is going to translate.
Yeah, just 3 birdies out of the 17 guys, so
another one where you'd expect to see a couple more.
But it's tricky enough. I think there's it's a unique hole.
Yeah, unique's a good word for it. It seems kind of touchy.
Yeah. And
the real aerial view here of hole 12.
Yeah, nice.
251 feet here at, of course, a par 3. What are we looking at here as far as strategy and lines?
Yeah, I think the most successful one I've seen is kind of going almost straight at it with a touch of turn, just like that, and then you can, ideally landing just on the top of the hill there and avoiding this guy. This tree eats up a lot. If you're gonna try hyzer, you really got to push like high and left.
Yeah,
I've seen it work, but it's touchy.
Do you see any really high, like forehand hyzers or turnovers that go over those pines?
On the left?
No,
I didn't see anything like that.
Yeah, just sort of straight at her. Yeah, I guess it
Maybe
being about
one.
230 or so to get there. Yeah, it looks like he's thinking about it.
Decently elevated.
I was going to say, you got to get it pretty high with the basket being that far.
But here you go.
No, but he does, yeah.
It's way up there,
yeah. Again, just sort of thinking through my game and how I'd play it, not how the average player would. That's sort of what I'd be looking at personally.
Nice.
And yeah, he gets up there. Cam as well. Like I said, I don't see this as necessarily being conventional. We've at least got a few people that agree that it's worth looking at. So
yeah.
And a bit of a fight out of the trees here for Jeff. Looks like he's maybe thinking about going for it. Certainly taking his time. Yeah, it gives it a sort of half bid.
Pretty strong run, but yeah.
Yeah.
Sits nice and close and
Cam gives it a really good bid with Felix. Or
I sure hope its name is Felix.
It's like, oh, what are you guys talking about? His name's Jeff. I have to ask him at some point. Bit of work here for Dunk, but he's not too far off. Yeah, just a little left on the putt though, and it does check up on the hill, which is nice. Had the potential to take a bit of a run away there. Oh no!
Okay,
Duncan misses the comebacker too. That's unfortunate.
Bit of undoing here, yeah.
Yeah.
Cam with a cleanup there. All right. Closing it out now, Duncan.
Yep, nice and easy. There it is. Yeah, Duncan and Cam with the unfortunate bogeys. Jeff and Greg with pars. Jeff, like me, always working his way through the routine, even for the short ones. And Greg, no routine for the shortest of ones, which is fair. It's like a 2-foot putt.
Slam dunk.
Yeah, especially with a guy with his height. Okay, par 4 at 533. Anything interesting to contend with here? Bunkers or greens?
Golf green that you're seeing there, OB, but shouldn't really come into play unless you hit coming out. But you want to land here or kind of punch through, ideally with max distance. Mm-hmm. Nothing OB left or anything there, but we do, the golf fairway on the left.
Okay.
That's that hole. There's string down there for today. And you just want to be careful of these bunkers up on the right side.
Mm-hmm. So that I feel like those will come into play less with the tee shot, more with the upshot.
Yes, upshot.
So just looking to crush pretty far. I think maybe ideally to those trees if you can. Yeah. Does that sound about right distance-wise?
Yeah, the further up you get, the better. The thing they've done with this tunnel kind of shot, it's like almost like a triple Mando coming out of the gap here, so that it kind of forces you down, and your disc is lower. And then the ground's rising up, so
sure,
you got to find somewhere out there that you get the height and all the distance that you want, because you want to kind of be as short as you can on the upshot. Just that'll make it easier.
Yep. No, absolutely.
But anywhere flat up here on the upslope, I think it's somewhere around 300.
Yeah,
300 in. It's only 533, so maybe 2.
So you're not leaving yourself a ton of work.
Yeah.
That's good. And Greg nestled himself in a nice place. Cam looked like he might have got a little more turn on that than he wanted. Yeah, and unfortunately gets caught up in one of those trees.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit tricky from there.
Mm-hmm. Clearly the card disagrees, but I wondered if we wouldn't see a forehand or two, given the placement of the basket and where those trees are as well. Forehands on the upshots, at least.
Forehand upshot, yeah. I'm definitely subscribed to that one. But if you have that forehand up on, you could push up on the right side, and you could open way up there.
That's sort of what I was thinking. Then you open up almost a better look for if you're going for forehand for another approach.
The one thing I would say though, the bunkers come in more in line from the right side.
Okay.
So if you want to come in on the side Cam kind of approached on, left side's good.
Makes sense.
This would be a bit tricky for Gigi's backhand.
Looks like he finds a way to make it work, though. Of course,
of course.
I feel like this has been a recurring theme of watching him play. Has been, this should be tough for him. Oh no, never mind.
Yeah, Duncan in position A. I would say that's like how easy was that shot. I mean, he's still good shot, good skills, but yeah, you want to make it easy on yourself.
Yeah, for sure. And nice up from Jeff as well. Oh, and unfortunate misfire from Duncan again. I think maybe just having a little bit of trouble getting centered after the tricky putts on the last one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense.
It's always tough to get, certainly for me, back in line after, a 2 or a 3 putt where you didn't need to take it.
I think they're having a look around It's just starting to rain.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it looks like I'm seeing some gazes to the heavens here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think given what they went through earlier, they're probably just praying it doesn't come back with teeth. Yeah, they're running off.
Bye. Where's my umbrella? Yeah, here it comes.
Oh,
I remember running at this moment in time too.
Yeah, I would have if I was there also. Just sheets of rain coming down. No fun.
Hole 14, just 211, but it is pretty tight coming into the green here. You need to pick a side of this big tree, right or left. Left, a little straighter. You can scoot up there, skid or pop your way up into the green.
Yep, just seems like you got that low ceiling to contend with, but otherwise, you get something under those trees and you should be relatively all right. And again, no need to get cute here, I don't think. I mean, if anything, like a slight turnover on a backhand maybe, but relatively straight shot. Keep it under the branches. And that is just what Greg does to perfection, I think. Don't know exactly where the basket is relative to that camera, but I think he's in a good spot.
Yeah, just a bit short from him there, but I think he's looking good.
Mm-hmm.
That's like if Gigi had a shot that he could hit all day, every day, that's it right there.
Cam does the same thing. Skips up really nicely as well. Can we go 3 for 3?
Looking like a buzz.
Oh, maybe no. Just hyzers out a little early at the end there, or fades out a little early.
He might be in this little pocket.
Yeah, I would imagine he'll still be okay, just not up in birdie territory.
There is a interesting little spot though. He might be in it where it's kind of like a false little opening, and yeah, it looks like he's got it. There's absolutely nothing other than up above. So you can find your way in there. It's an interesting little spot.
This reminds me of 16 yellow at Bronte. If you come up short and left, you just got to punch over that wall. Yeah, there's like nothing. But if you put it over the top, you have a chance.
Yeah.
And we do see a chance there. Doesn't quite go in for Jeff, though. Oh, Duncan misfires again, unfortunately. Trying to figure out what's going on. Sure he'll get centered again, get back on track. And Greg did come up really nicely there, so he's in tap-in territory and does tap in for his 2. Good comebacker for Duncan.
Yeah, it kind of sucks to see, when somebody's off and
and you just know that these 3 holes are not anything near a representation of his skill level. It just sometimes you just run into a bit of a rut.
He's gonna go probably make all those putts, the next day.
Oh yeah,
no problem,
guaranteed. Go hit 100 straight, but sometimes for 3 holes in a row, or sometimes more if you're me, it's not a good time.
This is a fun hole. Path's good, so no OB there, but golf green, bunkers, all in play.
Yeah.
Kind of perched up, so they force you through this gap at first, kind of taking away big hyzers or any other kind of direction. So you got to go straighter at it. Yep.
No, it's an interesting, just little tiny wrinkle just to mess with you. Oh, and Greg catches a tree towards the end. And I'm just thinking, because we saw the rain coming down on the last hole. Is this? I heard there was a rain delay. Was it around this time? Is it still to come?
I believe that they're going to get through this one and
then maybe it's
on the next hole. Yeah.
Yeah. Just seems like it's threatening, and I'm just trying to figure out if it's already come pouring down and they're back, or if it's about to.
Yeah, it's definitely raining. I think you'll see the ground change next time when they cut over, so we should be able to tell.
I'm sure that was a lot of fun for you all.
Well, I had a good time. I was hanging out in the clubhouse because we kind of trucked our way through and finished the round, and then traveling with Cam. Nice. We sticking around, but we there was
to hang out and have a drink or a snack or something.
Yeah, it was a good 2-hour break, I'd say.
Oh, nice. Nice shot there for Duncan. Was that Jeff that wound up in that bunker there, it looked like?
Jeff got bunkered. Yeah. I don't know about Duncan there.
I think Duncan just wasn't quite all the way up, but came in all right.
Oh no, we got two.
He did get bunkered as well. Does give it a pretty solid bid from there, though. Just not quite enough pepper on it. Yeah, Dunk just can't quite get that putter to do quite what he wants. Nice putt from Cam.
Cam gets the birdie.
Mm-hmm.
Looking to finish strong.
Yep. There you go, Duncan. Nice putt.
This hole was kind of evenly spread, birdies, pars, and bogeys.
That feels about right.
There's if you get the unfortunate green or bunker, miss the putt, because that bunker's still 30, outside circle, it seemed.
One, some trees that are in close. We saw Greg get knocked down by one of them.
Yep.
So not one you'd expect to see a ton of bogeys, but you wouldn't expect to see a ton of birdies either, I don't think. So around par sounds about right. And wow, 934 feet for hole 16.
Yeah, so first par 5.
Serious chunk of change.
Yeah, I think it still plays pretty birdieable.
Well, sure. I mean, if you got, like we were saying earlier, 5 throws, if you're looking to birdie, you don't have to take off too much with each one as long as you place them well.
I think somewhere in the neighborhood of 730 or 50 feet to the front of the green.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as you can kind of chew that down, big. You want your distance on the drive, position your second shot or go if you're big enough to go up and over in 2. But I don't think anyone's doing that today. These conditions.
Yeah. Well, just depending on your arm, I think if you can go anywhere from 700 to 800 in 2 throws, and then leave yourself a relatively accessible approach, there's your look for birdie.
Yeah, a little bit of technicality on the green. It's slope, but it's fair. Yeah.
You can still see that rain coming down. Very deliberate Jeff is. And releases the disc nicely. Plenty of turn, fades out well, sitting in the center.
Yep, good position.
Mm-hmm. Lots of power there for Duncan as well.
Oh, nice move.
Rides pretty far to the right and gets back left at the end. And there we see, I think, Thomas teeing off in the background.
Wow, okay, here we are. So I think this is where we're going to get called pretty soon.
Yeah, one would hope. My goodness. This is a serious deluge.
If you are playing a disc golf tournament and you're getting rained on this hard, you unfortunately have to keep going. You just got to wait until someone calls it or sees lightning.
That's just miserable.
That kind of thing. And then I think we're back at it here.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think those 2 shots happened consecutively.
And so you can see, the rivers.
Wow.
And
but yeah, no, you're totally right. I absolutely hate it. But yeah, unless you have a call from the TD, unless you've got lightning and lightning or a call is my understanding. You keep playing, even if it sucks.
But we're pretty close to 2 hours on a break and then coming back.
Wow.
And this card. So FPO was behind the MPO cards. There's just the one card, so they played last, and they were stuck. And these guys in the chase, they both everyone was kind of stuck and huddled underneath a shelter that was out on the course, right? And just spent 2 hours in the.
Wow, that's like a while in the middle of a tournament to just fully put the brakes on.
Yeah. And just think not a lot of food or water going on. Or
well, yeah, you've just got whatever's in your bag. You're not expecting to be there for 2 more hours. Yeah. Especially, this is just one round this day, but you've played 36 holes the day before of competitive golf. You're at hole, whatever hole on the course you're on, you're through about 15 or 16 or 17, and you're probably just wanting, a nice warm meal or or something to drink or to be somewhere dry, and instead you're huddled under a tree with none of those things.
Just looking to finish up.
Yeah. Nice up there from Jeff. Puts it just outside the bullseye, it looks like. I think I've been saying that a lot. Seems like Jeff's upshot game is very solid. Nice in there from Greg as well. I think Greg's everything game is just solid.
Yeah.
Cam looking at giving this a bid. Just tangles with those branches there, but gives it a bit of a run.
Okay,
don't know if Duncan was laying up or if that one got away from him, but
no, likely laying up. Yeah. I would give him the benefit on that one.
Yeah, I'm just thinking with how wet these discs must be and whatever, but yeah. Okay. Ooh, just sneaks his way in there. A little bit of an awkward stance there for Greg, but makeable certainly, and he does make it. As does Cam make his. And Dunk will tap in as well. Looks like we've got a smattering of pars here. Everybody skates out even on the hole and on to the next one.
Yeah, Greg, we're coming in 17-18 here. You know, he might be looking at the scorecard or seeing what's happening in the chase, because he would have been looking at that for a while and had that information. So there's Thomas Hums and Chris Tao up in the mix as well, and more notably Thomas Hums is putting together a pretty good round and you know, finishing up pretty strong.
Yeah, to the best spot.
Yeah, 2 holes to play. Tom is just a few strokes back, so Greg's, you know, pretty comfortable with this card, but still not able to fully take his foot off the gas, knowing that Thomas is just a few behind him.
Good news though, we've got, you know, birdieable holes in front of us. So this one here is straight in front as far as we can see there, and then it's a 90-degree shot to almost an island. I think an islandy kind of landing area for the green.
Peninsula, perhaps?
Yeah. We'll call it that.
Sure, that works.
Maybe the biggest bombers could maybe push for it, but I think
generally placement shot,
smart play,
biting off a fair bit.
Yeah, smart play for a birdie is just going to be exactly what these guys are doing here.
Yeah. So what do you figure that is off the tee? Somewhere in like the 330, 350 range?
350 to 350, 400 is all you want there.
Yeah. Jeff looks like yanks that one a little bit to the right.
Yeah, it just makes the shot a little longer coming in.
And Duncan comes in to rest with Greg and Cam. Well placed. Jeff cranks it, and looks like, based on where he was running, like he lost it, and like the card might have as well.
Yeah, definitely kind of faded left there. I don't know if that crossed or not.
Yeah, it's one of those ones, you know, where you just have to sort of go amongst the card and try and put together a trajectory based on where the disc left the person's hand and figure out a consensus on what's going, because it didn't look like anybody could have got an eye on that, and it happens at times.
Yeah, we'll see where they put him for that.
For sure.
But Greg and Cam are pretty routinely up, and Duncan's going to jump putt.
Oh, wow.
He's doing the Cam intro.
Yeah,
from earlier.
But he's actually doing it. Puts it in just right. I mean, that's a pretty nice, there's obviously a layup jump putt, but a really nice layup with that jump putt to right under the basket.
Yeah, that must have been like close to 100.
Yeah. And looks like they gave Jeff inside the circle there and can't quite connect on the putt.
Yeah. Too bad there.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone else, we looks like tapping in some threes.
Sure. Yeah, and that's something with Jeff where if you can't, reach a consensus on what happened, I don't know what happened here, but you have to, if you have two dueling potential scenarios, give the benefit to the player unless you can clearly establish what happened. So I guess they decided there's a card that must have come in and hopped out and gave him that putt from inside the circle.
Yeah.
And Greg and
Doesn't matter, don't worry.
Duncan and Cam tapping their putts in. So we're seeing Greg take a birdie, as does Cam, as does Duncan, and Jeff takes the bogey with the penalty strokes. And now on to 18. And at this point, I believe Greg has a 4-stroke lead over Thomas, so he's sitting pretty comfortable. And at this point, you're just looking to play the hole safe and smart if you're him, and everybody else is looking at the leaderboard and thinking, okay, where am I going to lie here? How much do I want to push this at a 975-foot hole? Where's the disc going? What do I want to bring into play, take out of play, based on where I'm sitting?
Yeah, the main concern here right off the tee is just get out of the gap, and then how much distance can you get after that? Because it's a pretty wide open hole, so you've got some room to open it up, and even heading off left there is not a problem.
Yeah, Cam didn't seem like he liked that, but I think he's in a just fine spot.
The one thing though, these guys want to just pay attention. Like they maybe can't quite see it from the tee, but you've got a whole bunch of these runoff areas for water that have been draining off the course from the rain. So there's moving little creeks.
There's little streams and creeks. Oh, jeez.
Watch out for on the fairway. So.
Yeah. Wow. And I just saw some flags there on the left of those, or I guess the right of our screen for those last two shots. Is there any out of bounds here off the tee, or is that just a tee?
I think that's just a tee. Yeah. I don't think anything will be other than
path and green and bunkers that are not in play yet.
Way left. Yeah.
Jeff's shot gets a little bit away from him there and off to the right, but like we were saying, it's pretty tough to get in trouble here. He's still relatively open. Lining up a power forehand.
Yeah, that car path going through this hole is all good. Yeah. So left of it's good. It's just the one on the other side.
Yeah, I think it'd play kind of touchy if you had to play that as OB. Makes sense to keep it smart. Keep it safe. We'll say safe.
So a big bomb on the second shot. The further right you get, the better your angle, because you're going to 90 degree-ish up into the left, and there's one of those creeks.
Duncan finds a creek, but he bit off a lot of distance there.
Yeah. So the main thing here is you want to try and stay right. Like I said, give you a better angle. The green coming in is way on the left side of the path, up near the golf green. So it's and it's tricky. It's up on a hill, really steep.
Yeah.
So potential for some issues there, but.
Patrick, Scanlon.
It's like Cam's heading off on the right side.
Looking well placed there from Jeff. This is a serious hole. 3 shots and you're still, I don't even know if he has a clean putt at this point. But the par 5 helps.
Yeah, I think he lost a little bit of distance on the tee shot. So, but we've got
Greg puts that up there really nicely.
Greg on the circle, and Cam slipping.
Yeah. Is it going to skip for him? It does. So he's not quite as in as he'd like to be, but he's still going to have a good look at it.
He's putting.
Yep, absolutely.
Splishing around.
At this point in the round, you're just screw the shoes. I don't mind getting them wet.
Yeah.
I'll be in a car in 10 minutes.
And who knows? They might still be soaked
from
earlier.
Well, and that's what I'm thinking is you're wet enough that you're like, whatever. Oh, an unfortunate reaction there off of the hill. Skips in, rolls in nicely, looks like he's going to sit down, 15 feet away, and then rolls 15 feet back down the hill. And again, especially now that everybody's tight, you're going to be thinking about where you're sitting relative to everybody else as you line this up. Am I putting? Am I laying up? And Jeff runs, but just off the bottom.
Yeah, and this means a lot to. So Cam's looking pretty solid in third, but Jeff and Duncan are putting for retaining spots here. So
yeah, and both just catching a little bit of the cage in different ways and not quite getting there.
So that was for solo fourth. He's going to end up tied fourth there. That Tapper, Duncan, Cam just to make one for the crowd. How about
yeah.
Why not?
Well, yeah, now that Thomas is here, the crowd seems to have left. I haven't seen anybody waving.
Yeah, I mean... There
we get the I don't even know what that's called, but the happy jump kick. That's good.
Yeah.
Clicking his heels, I think that's...
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Might slow-mo that.
Nice to finish off with a solid...
Yeah.
a solid putt like that. It's never nice when you leave and you've finished with like a bad putt or an unfortunate roll away or something.
Yeah, no, the game will keep you coming back.
Yeah, and Greg Smart just doesn't want any part of a potential roll away. He knows he's got strokes to play with, just lays it up.
Cameraman's stealing the show.
Yeah, the cameraman's running around and getting shots. Everybody
gotta just give him a shout out. I don't know his name, but saw him out there. The shots are great. I gotta say, for disc golf coverage, there's some really nice photos that they've been taking.
Okay, I'm gonna have to try and find whatever Facebook post or Instagram or whatever's out there. Well, that's great. Well, congrats to Greg Grootenboer for not fully running away with it, but a good head and shoulders clear at the end.
Yeah.
And just we got to see 3 rounds of very well deserving winning disc golf from him, just clean the whole way through. It's great to see.
Congrats, Greg. Yeah, that was a good showing.
Yeah, and great to see everybody. There's a lot of good moments on coverage, so I hope you tuned into all of our videos. And we were saying Thomas there creeping up at the end, Cam taking third, Chris and Jeff and Dunk all knotted in sort of around that 4 to 6 range. But that's it. That was the Diameter Open. Thanks for hanging out with me, Andrew. This was a lot of fun being in the booth with you.
Yeah, thank you. It was great to jump on the mic again and cover the Diameter Open. Thank you to the sponsors. And for supporting disc golf and Guelph. Really appreciate that.
Absolutely. Galen Naidu-Harris.
Andrew Leyland. Take care.
See you in the next one.